Hey everyone, how y'all doing? Sorry for not having a video last week, or at least not a full one. I did a short, but I had some things come up and I just didn't have time to put anything together. In fact, I'm still not even done with that video yet. So instead, I'm gonna do a different video. Normally I save this type of stuff for pickups, but I've been kind of waiting for this for a little while. Finally found one on eBay, of course, at a decent enough price, and so I'm kind of excited to see what's in here, especially since I want to make sure it works. So let's go ahead and open up the box and see what I'm talking about. It was packaged all right. They were using this kind of thicker tissue paper, but there's a lot of it, so there's plenty of padding, and there's definitely no visible signs of damage. But what I got is this, and if you don't know what this is a Sega Master System, or the power base. And I don't know why it's so dark. I've got plenty of lights, but there we go. And it was bought, untested, etc., like these things usually are. The seller claimed that they did not have any of the cables for it to test it, and that's why they couldn't. But yet, based on their name, they seem to deal with retro stuff a lot. So you'd think that they would have, maybe not the cords necessarily for the Master System, but you can use the AC adapter, AC to DC adapter from the Genesis Model 1, as well as the RF cable and AV cables. So there are ways to test it, but whatever. Like I said, I got this fairly recently. Well, I got it. It came in fairly recently. I've been looking for a Master System for a while just to have it in my collection. I know I've got the little adapter for the Mega SG that I can use, but nothing beats authentic. So sadly, this doesn't still have the plastic covering on the this area here, like some of them that I've seen. But yeah, but these things have been going for quite a bit of money lately, so I found one decently priced. And no cables, no controllers, although I can use a Genesis controller, which I probably would anyway, because allegedly the Master System gamepads are not very good. So but let's go ahead and test this. I'll get it hooked up to my little retro setup, and we'll see if it works. So before even testing, I already noticed one issue. I wanted to clean the cartridge slot out, and the door kind of gets stuck. I know the lighting isn't great. And the door gets stuck. So I'm hoping that's not a bad sign. All the screws are here, but I can't say that no one's been in here before, so tough to say. All right, let me get this hooked up and we can see if it works. So right off the bat, not a good sign. I'm not getting any power LED or anything. And on top of that, when I try to plug a controller in to the port, it doesn't want to fit. Looks like one of the pins are bent, or perhaps maybe someone was in here. I don't know if it's easy to see. But the controller parts are not aligned properly. So that means we get to take it apart and see what's inside. All right, let's open this up. Looks like there's just 6 screws. Phillips, fortunately. I don't think I needed to remove this cover here, but why not? There's one more stuck somewhere. Right by the controller ports. Oddly enough, most of the screws are brass, but then there's this one here that's not. So interesting. All right. I've never seen the inside of one in person, only what I've seen on YouTube videos. So okay, it's a little dusty, but to be expected. Some fingerprints as well. Now that I have the top cover, let me check this controller port out. Yeah, so some of these pins must be bent. Port 2 seems to be fine. It's just port 1, so we'll have to take a look at that. And looks like there are more screws for the shielding, so let me remove that. Alright. And the switches. Board overall, not terrible. Like I said, a little bit of dust. I don't see... hang on. Well, I think I see one problem. Let's see if you guys can tell. This capacitor is blown, like, almost practically completely. So that'll have to be replaced. There's a little bit of fluid there too, and that's right by the voltage regulator. What is this? The 7805. I think I've got one of those somewhere. The underside looks like it's okay otherwise. Don't see any damage traces offhand, although I'll have to take a closer look. Someone may have tried to reflow the solder. These two pads are bridged. I don't know if they're supposed to be or not. I'll have to look at some pictures online. Otherwise, though, I don't really see anything off other than that pad. Like I said, I'm not sure about that capacitor. So what I will probably do is I'll get these two capacitors replaced, actually. Maybe even this third one here, we'll see. We'll test the voltages coming in, and yeah, hopefully there isn't going to be much to it. I do think there were some missing screws, because I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be 2 screws securing the cartridge connector to the bottom of the chassis to kind of give it a little bit more rigidity. So, oh yeah, look at all that dust there. I'll have to get it for cleaning. But yeah, let me get these capacitors replaced and go from there. Hopefully that's the only problem. Like I said, I do have an extra 7805 somewhere. Don't have an extra power switch though, so I'm hoping it's not that. All right, well, let's get to the workbench in the basement and go from there. All right, so what we'll do first is we'll plug it back in, and I'll test some of the voltages, make sure the voltages coming in are correct. We'll check the voltage regulator. I mean, we know this is an issue, but I just want to see if the right voltages are coming in. Also, I just realized that this never came with the heatsink, so this thing could have overheated, and another sign that someone was in here before. So, of course, I don't have the original heatsink, so I might just have to figure something out for now and then order one later or what have you. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and plug it in and make sure it works. Well, we know it doesn't. You know what I mean. All right, power on. 1243, I've got them reversed, so we're getting 12 volts in, which is fine, that's normal. But at the voltage regulator, let's see. 0. Which is to be expected if it is blown. Like when you plug in an NES AC to AC adapter instead of an AC to DC adapter, which is probably what happened here. Or they use a center positive adapter instead of a center negative, but you know. So we're going to go ahead and replace this cap first, give it another quick test, and then we'll replace the voltage regulator. Oh wait, it probably would help if it was... I'm an idiot. In 12, out nothing. So we're just going to replace the voltage regulator anyway because it is not working, as well as this capacitor here. And like I said, probably this one too, just because I don't trust it. Now these are both 10 microfarad, 16 volt. I've got 25 volt, so it should be fine. Nothing fancy. These are just cheap generic ones. And for the voltage regulator, the original one is an NEC, but I don't have one, but I do have an NTE one, and it should be just fine. It'll take 35 volts in and out 5 volts, which is what we need. So, all right, let's get the soldering station on, the desoldering station on, fans, noise, etc. So I apologize. I'll try to filter that out. So as per usual, I'm going to mark off what I need to remove, that there, as well as this here, and the one just below it right here. Actually, let me make sure. Nope, actually, it's got to be these two here. Looks like this one is just for filtering. Yeah, so that, and that. Yay. Apply some fresh flux and fresh solder to make it a heck of a lot easier to remove. Because when you don't do that, it's a big pain. Alright, that was a pain in the ass. The ground plane is very thick, apparently, or just a lot of it. So, but everything is pretty much clean through. I can see through them at least, and I can fit components through them. Just got to clean them up a bit because these pads are definitely dirty and gunked up and everything, and I want to make sure that I didn't accidentally rip any of these pads out or delaminate them or anything from all the heat that I had to apply. So I'll clean this board later. I just want to see if I need to do anything else to it or not. All right, let's see. There. Should fit just fine. I almost want to bend it over and use the ground plane as a heat sink, but I don't remember if the shielding will get in the way or not. And there's no way to really secure it because there's no screw hole here. It would have been great if that's what Sega did. I could always drill through, but I don't want to do that. So I'll just find some other heatsink or heatsink-like metal that I can attach somehow. And then these capacitors should fit no problem. Yeah. Perfect. I'm going to prep these pads with some fresh flux and get these components installed. Alright, now I gotta figure out the heatsink for this. Wonder if I have anything I can steal one from. Let me go take a look at all my junk. So I searched this entire house and couldn't find anything that would be really suitable. And I do have these heat sinks here, this little kit, but I'm afraid that, the adhesive is going to, even though it's supposed to be thermally conductive, that it'll end up falling off and shorting something out. But then I remembered I had a bunch of these little brackets that probably would be more than enough. I just have to do it in such a way that it's not going to be obstructed by anything. The other issue, though, is that the opening on here is very large because it's designed for a sunken screw, wood screw typically, and this just goes through. So I was able, though, to find a metal washer laying around. And then that should be, hopefully, enough. I don't know if this screw will actually fit through. Oh, well, perfect. So I can fashion something for a heat sink. Really wish that I could, actually, if this doesn't stick out too far, and even if it does, I might be able to just hack it off. Let me grab the bottom shell on the shielding real quick so I can see, because if I can just do that, that'd be perfect. Alright, I'm not going to put any thermal paste on just yet. I just want to do a quick test. It doesn't quite make contact with that, unfortunately, but well, figure something out here. If I wanted it to get on there properly. Actually, hang on, let's try it this way. Unless I did it, well, unless I did it sideways like that. That could fit. Barely, but it could work. Now this one I know would almost definitely be height restrictive. So this was almost definitely not going to work. but at least I have something I can use like that, so... yeah, well, let me do that then, I guess. Totally overkill Arctic Silver, but... whatever. Somebody out there probably going, just go to the hardware store and find something. This is called laziness. I know I said earlier that I could have just stuck this to the back, but I was worried about it falling, but I kind of feel like directly applying it would, you know, put more heat on the adhesive, so... Alright, let's give it a test, make sure it wasn't for nothing, and go from there. I'm going to just use the RF modulator for now because I don't feel like running upstairs and grabbing all the cables and hooking them all up and everything. Okay, where is the... power LED's on, and I get the Sega Master System logo on screen. Let me see if I can flip the camera around and show you guys. There we go. Whoop. There we go. As you can see, it is working. Cool. So, at least now I know I didn't waste my time with all of this, so what I have to do now is clean the shell, the casing, all of that fun stuff, as well as some of the shielding, and I have to locate some screws because I know there were some missing inside. Actually, what I need to do is test the cartridge real quick because I didn't test that yet. Sega Master System, good. Safari Hunt and Hang On. Alright, so it works. Cool. That was loud, sorry. I'll try to edit that out. So I'm going to go ahead and clean the casing and the shielding, find some extra screws for the shielding because I know that there were some missing. Put it all together and test it one last time. And so here is everything disassembled and cleaned and repaired and all of that. Unfortunately, I can't do much with the shielding. There's fingerprints on there that have been etched in over time, and without either replating them or spray painting them, not much I can do. I took care of some rust spots, but for the most part, it'll be fine. I mean, it's going to be under a shell anyway, so you're not going to see it. Well, let's go ahead and do a reassembly montage. As you can see, it's still getting stuck, and the controller ports are still out of alignment over here. Ever so slightly. Not sure why that's happening though. Again, because someone's been in here before, it's possible that the screws that it came with weren't the correct ones and things just are out of alignment. Let me take this top cover off and see if I can't adjust things. Alright, so what I did is I just loosened the screws in the back a little bit. And now it seems to be fine, but let's test. There we go. Check the controller ports. Everything seems to be fine. Power button. All right, let's hook this back up to the CRT and see if it still works. Alright, first we'll test it with the built-in game and see if it works. Oh, apparently this one doesn't have a built-in game. Or does it? No, it's got the little maze game here. Oops. Never played this before, so I have no idea how to get through this maze. Alright, well, built-in game works. Let's go ahead and test Hang On and Safari Hunt. I mean, I don't have a light gun, so I can't test Safari Hunt, but Hang On we can test. Seems to be fine. Well, everything seems to work. Whether I'm good at this game or not is a different story, but picture quality is okay. It's on a CRT, so it's kind of hard to make up, but I do see a little bit of jail bars in the sky area, but that could also just be part of the game. I really don't know. Let's see. Pause works. And reset works. Alright, well, let's wrap this video up. And that's the Sega Master System. Not a challenging repair, but that's a good thing, especially for those of you who might be first starting out and trying to learn how to repair stuff. It's a very common issue, apparently, with these Master Systems, with the capacitors blowing and the 7805 voltage regulator going bad. And again, it's mainly because you're using the wrong power adapter. Again, you can't use a North American or a European NES AC adapter because those are AC to AC adapters. It's basically, if I understand, kind of like a step-down converter. If you use an NES AC adapter on here, you're going to fry it. If you use a Genesis Model 1 adapter, you'll be fine. If you use a Famicom adapter, technically you'll be fine, although the adapter itself may not work properly because it needs 100 volts and not 110, which is what we have here in North America. So you could potentially fry that, but it won't fry the system. If you use one of those universal adapters, make sure it is set to center negative, because that's the other way you can kill this thing, is by putting in the wrong power. So yeah, what do you guys think? Any games I should check out for this system? Because I only have the one, and I only bought that to test the Master System adapter for the Mega SG. But now I actually have a console to play that game on. And yeah, I'm not going to worry about getting the original controllers. I might get one just to have it, but I've heard nothing but bad things about them. So no RGB mods or any kind of bypass or anything like that, because I don't have the ability to currently do anything RGB, so that's fine. Yeah, what'd you guys think? Leave some comments below. Otherwise, thanks, I'll catch you later.